of me, pardon me. Yeah, as he mentioned, I have both backgrounds, entomology my master's and a PhD in my plant pathology in my PhD. So I'll be doing both the things. Even though I distributed soybean aphid booklet, but I'll be starting with cereal insects, like mainly concentrating on wheat insects and the insecticides which we have to use if we get the problem of an insect in our fields. We should scout for the if the wheat fields, like both winter wheat and spring wheat, probably some of wheat aphids, aster leafhopper or cereal leaf beetle, and sometimes grasshoppers too. I have been scouting like you guys, but I haven't found any pests yet, insect pests yet. But we will be alerting you every week if we find anything. But I want to caution you about certain pests in wheat which are likely to occur now, like cereal leaf beetle. It is very notorious pest. If it comes, it occurs in large numbers, so you have to scout for that. It's time for us to scout for cereal leaf beetles. Unfortunately, there's no infestation now in our areas, so I will just mention how it looks like. It's a 1/4 inch size beetle with orange prothorax region, and abdomen is bluish black colored. So it's a very small beetle. Both beetle and the larvae can cause damage. The larvae, when it's full grown, look like a slug. It's scraping the leaves. We have to protect the flag leaf, because flag leaf is very important for our wheat yields. So it feeds on the flag leaves and all the other leaves, of course. But if we see the damage on the flag leaf, it causes direct yield losses. So that's why we have to scout for it. You guys must be knowing what is the economic threshold level, ETL. If you find 3 eggs or 3 larvae of cereal leaf beetle on the wheat plant, then it's ready for spraying. That's when it's in the vegetative stage. If you see around the flag leaf or at the booting stage, or the head is out, then if it is at that stage, if you find 1 egg or 1 larvae per leaf, it's ready for spraying. Again, I repeat that it's 1 egg or 1 larvae per flag leaf. There are a lot of insecticides available, so just please refer to this field insecticide guide. It's updated every year with the latest latest insecticides. You can go and go for the treatments once the ETL level has reached. And the other one which you have to worry about is cereal leaf aphid. There are 3 different kinds of aphids. I'm not going to in detail about that, but every aphid can, if in a significant amount of population, may cause yield losses. In order to scout for the cereal leaf aphid, you guys know aphid, right? How it looks like? Yeah. In order to scout, while scouting, if you find in 80% of the tillers which you scouted has aphids, then it's time for a spray. If also there is another thing is that if 10 to 12 aphids for single tiller, it's time for spray. Why that's the economic threshold level, at which it can cause significant yield damages to our crop. Before that, we can there are a lot of natural enemies available in the nature. They will take care of themselves. That's why we will be giving a little bit of time for the natural enemies to take care of them. If they can't, we will go for a spray once the ETL level is reached. Then the third one is I want to mention is that aster leafhopper, which is not much of a problem for wheat, because aster leafhopper is a very notorious pest on vegetable crops like carrot. It transmits a phytoplasma, and it also transmits a phytoplasma on canola too. It's a very deadly if it carries phytoplasma with that. So it completely modifies the flower and it leads direct yield losses. That's why in this, recently there have been a report that in Harvey, that means pretty close to our place, they found aster leafhopper. Fortunately, it doesn't carry any phytoplasma to wheat plants, even if it feeds on. So just wait for the ETL levels to reach, and then go for a spray. In order to identify aster leafhopper, I will say it's a wedge-shaped small insect. It's yellowish green in color. It has 3 pairs of black dots on its forehead. That's the thing, it's in order to distinguish from other leafhoppers. There are other leafhoppers also which you will see on wheat plants, but this is the typical character. You have to see 3 black dots on its forehead. And the ETL level, nobody, it's a fast-moving insect. We can't right away say that if you find this many hoppers on the leaf, you can go for a spray. They are fast moving while you are counting. We use sweep nets. That's also didn't work, but it's a simple thing to figure it out how this leafhopper has reached ETL level or not. When you walk through the field, if you see a swarm of leafhoppers flying around in front of you, then it's time to go for an insecticide spray. And finally, I distributed the booklets already. It's about the soybean aphid. They have found last week in Cass County. That means it's going to occur pretty soon over here on our soybean fields. So it is a very notorious pest. It is an invasive pest. It invaded US in 2000, and in 2001 itself we have found in North Dakota. So you can see how fast it is moving. As I want to compare this, it's a little weird comparison. Like for wheat rust, we have 2 hosts, right? All you guys know that in order to wheat rust pathogen to survive, it needs 2 hosts, the barberry and the wheat, right? Similarly, soybean aphid also needs 2 hosts. The buckthorn is the primary host, and the secondary host is the soybean. On buckthorn, it lays eggs and it overwinters. Once the soybean crop is ready, the eggs hatch, the nymphs develop, and they can develop wings. The adults can develop wings. Those are called elite forms. Those fly onto our soybean fields, invade the growing tips of soybeans. They propagate there. They don't need a male then, They will produce offsprings directly without a male. That is called, the process is called parthenogenesis. It will go for 15 to 16 generations. So it will produce lot of population on the soybean plants. So we have research has been done, and they have developed the ETL levels. If you see 250 aphids per plant, then you will be going for spraying. There are several insecticides. More than 20 insecticides are available, foliar insecticides available. We can use any of them to control those. And if you want to control in the oncoming years, you can go for a resistant varieties with RAG genes. RAG means resistance to Aphis glycines. Aphis glycine is the soybean aphid's scientific name, and each gene is numbered with RAG1, RAG2, so on. It has the genes. Those genes, they have named it because they have identified different biotypes in the aphids, which can feed on to different plants. So that's how they were developing resistance against the soybean cultivars. So scientists were developing a gene with resistance to aphid, then it's changing itself, and it's developed into a biotype 2 that emerged, and that can infect onto RAG1 gene cultivars. So on, the co-evaluation process is going on, and we unfortunately don't know what biotypes exist over here, in whether biotype 1 or biotype 2, but we have the resistance gene varieties over here, RAG1 and RAG2 genes, and also both genes included in a single variety. So we can go for those varieties, and also we recommend seed with treated with insecticides, like mostly neonicotinoids, thiamethoxam or that's cruiser, yeah, thiamethoxam or gaucho, imidacloprid. So those treated seeds are available. Go for it. And if you can't control until any insecticide, a seed treatment is only effective until the first 3 to 4 weeks. Mostly up to 5 weeks. So after that, if the population reaches above ATL level, foliar insecticides are available. You can go for those. Obviously, you can go for those.